What is up, people? Music lovers, vinyl aficionados. It is time for the drop. We're at Cactus Music World headquarters. I'm Ruben Dominguez. This is Quinn Bishop. Do you have the list?
I got the list, man. I got the list for the drop.
Let's drop it.
And we're going to drop it on them right now.
Come on.
Hey, out now. People have been waiting for this. This is the Beatles Revolver Super Deluxe Edition.
God.
There's like 5 different versions. This is the CD that has, I think, 4 discs plus a DVD with original mono. And so what they've done with this, do you know about this? The Conversation, Giles Martin, who is George Martin's son, who's really overseeing all the remastering for all the records. Peter Jackson, post Get Back, was telling him, I really wish you'd do something with Revolver. And Giles Martin's like, the technology doesn't really exist for us to really kind of separate everything and make it work. And Peter Jackson's like, no, we got that. And so coming from the film angle with the sound engineering associated with film, they were able to, because on this record in particular, fans have always claimed you can't hear the bass drum.
Right.
Can't hear the toms. Can't hear Paul McCartney's bass, which was more big problem. So
Peter Jackson says, I can fix that.
We can fix that. So
Wow.
it really does sound fantastic. So you get a hardbound book. There's a 4 LP set with a 7-inch. There's tons of rarity session tracks. I mean, it really, for such a important record, 1968, there's so much extra stuff on here that you can really just do a deep dive and dig it. Or there's like a 2-disc version that has the best of all the outtakes on the second disc, as well as the remastered audio, and it really does sound fantastic. So this is going to be on a ton of people's Christmas list,
and everything's good on it.
Yeah, I mean, for those that are novices, aren't overly familiar with the record, you got Eleanor Rigby, Taxman,
Tomorrow Never Knows.
Tomorrow Never Knows.
Got to Get You Into My Life.
I mean, Yellow
Dr.
Submarine,
Robert.
Here, There, and Everywhere. I love that one. And my maybe all-time favorite Beatles song, And Your Bird Can Sing.
Good one.
So,
that's an excellent.
Great
excellent.
record.
Doesn't even fit in the box.
Does not fit in the box. From the old, maybe even easier to do that anyway.
Right.
From the old to the new, there's a brand new Bruce Springsteen record. He dropped the news that this was coming out, and this is a different record for him. It's called Only the Strong Survive, and it is him covering classic soul and R&B numbers.
Oh, that's super cool.
This first single that I heard, Night Shift, which is funny because that's an 80s tune, the Commodore song without Lionel Richie. And man, it's pretty cool. He does The Sun Isn't Going to Shine Anymore, Hey Western Union Man, Turn Back the Hands of Time, Tyrone Davis, that I love.
Someday we'll be together.
It's cool. It's the E Street Band's not on this, though. The horn section is on there, and there's some strings. Looking forward to hearing it. I was a little underwhelmed by the 2 singles, but it's good that where major artists wait so long in between albums. It's cool that somebody as big as Springsteen goes, man, I've always wanted to do an album sold cuts. That's when we do show his car.
Nice.
Is it GTO? What is that?
Can't tell. I should be able to tell, but I can't.
Yeah. So that could be Ruben's ride. You could
and I don't want with Bruce Springsteen. I don't want to say the wrong thing and get lit up on.
I'm guessing you speak from experience.
Yeah,
Springsteen
they'll
lighting
come
up.
for you. They will come for you.
Ooh, look out!
They will come for you.
All right, next up, new long form EP from Faye Webster. We talked about Faye Webster on the drop before. She's a very up and coming folk singer, songwriter, kind of. She's cool. Cool lyrical style, kind of dour, kind of funny, kind of sarcastic. Her music really connects with people.
It's like an EP?
It is an EP.
Yeah,
and
it's only 5 songs, right?
And it's reimagined versions of 5 songs from her with a 24-piece orchestra.
Oh, man.
Which I hadn't really, I know she's a great singer, but I hadn't really thought about her in those terms. It works really well. It's a cool record. And, it's an
ambitious project.
It is. And if you're an up-and-coming artist, it's important to kind of feed the basis. People are like discovering you, to give them something new. So you're always really current. You don't have to wait so long for records. Yeah. It's
I need to check this out.
Yeah, her records are in her last record has sold steady for on and on and on and on. Still a bestseller here at the store.
Love it.
Next up, it's been a while for these guys. Since 2017. This is the 7th album from Phoenix. People love this band.
I like it. I like what I've heard. I liked the last album. Alpha Zulu's good. The one featuring Ezra Koenig. Yeah, it's a good song as well.
It's French indie pop thing, but it's very accessible. It's kind of straight down the middle. I think it's like you you've heard their music a lot in film, and it's licensed a lot for commercials and stuff. They had a few huge records. Early in,
what was the single? What did that end up in? It was like a T-Mobile commercial or something.
Yeah.
They played the living.
I mean, you couldn't. It was inescapable. You
out of
couldn't
it.
get away from it.
Yeah, they probably made a
Unfortunately, I can't
couple of
remember the title.
nickels. Probably made a couple of
Those
That
syncs are
falling.
real money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so this is a funny one. It's if you've ever bought a modern greatest hits collection,
Yeah.
and now this series has gone on for 20 something years. Sony Music has a series called the Essential series,
Mhm.
which is really kind of, you get all the hits, but it's a little pedestrian. It's funny when they do one with a modern band. This is the Foo Fighters did one, the Essential Foo Fighters, 2 LPs, and it's got 21. I mean, all their best tracks. Of course, they had a greatest hits album, but they've made 4 albums since then, so this kind of fills in the gaps. And just in time for Christmas.
Every song you want's on here.
And I think too, based on Taylor Hawkins passing, a lot of people are hearing, maybe discovering their music for the first time. So this is it's good to have something out there that people can just kind of grab and go and discover their music.
Right.
And two, if you don't want to have to buy 8 LPs, you can get all your favorite
this is it. Man.
songs.
Just go for the top stuff.
Okay, next up, Dead Cross. Are you hip to these guys? It's a Mike Patton project, but it's got Dave Lombardo in it.
Oh, it's been a long time since there was a Dead Cross
So
album.
they had their debut was in 2017, and they haven't had one since then. This is out there metal and dudes that are paying respects to their hardcore roots. And the last record was really, really big, did well for us. Again, Dave Lombardo's in the band, and this one's kind of off to the races. I think it's going to do really well. But it's not going to get played on the radio or anything. And you got a counterfeit gold colored vinyl, which is funny. It's very punk rock.
This
Punk rock name for it, right? In the finally on vinyl category, the latest Future album.
Oh,
and
nice.
He's chilling in the back seat in his limo or whatever, trying to take a snooze there. His 9th album features Drake, Kodak Black, among other guests.
Oh, Kanye.
Yeah, and it was a chart topper, and people have been screaming for the record. So finally,
Little Dirt.
you can get on vinyl. I think it came out in April. So
Get bang for your buck. There's a lot of tracks on here.
a lot of tracks, a lot of hits
That'll
too.
keep you busy for a while. Everybody's on here.
And this is an artist that I'm aware of, but I hadn't really heard her music, Kelani, and she has a brand new one called Blue Water Road.
I'm not super familiar with her either.
I think again, she sings a lot of music. It's kind of modern. What do you want to call it? Alternative R&B or what have you. But I was surprised and kind of reading about her. I was like, she's sold like 15 million records or something.
Doing something right.
Skin. So people really enjoyed. This is the.
She an American singer, an American artist.
I believe that she is. She says that this album creates a destination in her mind, and you have an invitation she wants to bring everybody.
I want that.
There you go.
Hey man, Thundercat's playing on.
Thundercat, Justin Bieber's on it too.
Yeah, man, I've checked this out for sure.
So an emerging artist
for sure. Colored vinyl, come on.
Yeah,
love it. Crystal colored vinyl.
If you were vinyl, because of course you're on the beats there. And I love this artist. I don't know if you're hip to them. This is a Swedish acoustic folk pop duo, sisters. This is Joanna and Clara Soderberg, and they are First Aid Kit. And I will tell you, when I heard their debut album, this is probably 12 years ago, like knocked me out. Just great sibling harmonies, super cool. I think that they actually played here for one of the Summerfests, if I'm not mistaken. But now they're signed to Sony Music, and more and more people are getting to hear their music. This new album is Palomino on Indie Store, exclusive colored vinyl. Man, if you like sibling harmonies, this record is beautiful.
Limited edition white vinyl.
Check them out. It's an enthusiastic recommendation.
There you go, man. It's all over it.
Oh, and this is such a cool record. So I will tell you, like, huge artists from the 80s that are iconic.
Mm-hmm.
One of the artists that had the absolute lowest profile by her own choosing would be Siouxsie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where is she? Never see her. She's not on social media. Her website never updates anything new. So this kind of came out of the blue. She curated this collection called All Souls, and she picked tunes that she felt were like macabre and otherworldly and
Not super surprising.
and supernatural, which I think that those three words pretty much describes her. She also curated the cover art as well, but it's the first kind of new related thing from her in a long time, and it's a cool package. It came out just in time for Halloween, which was the way to play it.
Last track she included Peekaboo.
Peekaboo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and if not music, certainly fashion. One of the most important artists to emerge in the 80s. I mean,
of course.
It seemed like there were
seasonal selection for you to enjoy.
When we were young fellas, it seemed like there weren't any young women that were looking like Siouxsie, and then all of a sudden there was a whole.
There were
lot
many
of them.
who were influenced.
Yeah.
Fashion-wise, makeup-wise, fashion-wise, down to a T.
Yeah.
Only time I ever saw them was the first Lollapalooza. Remember, they were on that bill.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw them at what was the place on 45 North? It was like an old Kroger.
Yeah. It wasn't the Unicorn Ballroom, was it? It was something ballroom.
It might have
super
been.
something ballroom. Yeah.
But that was a great show until like 8 songs into it, and the guitar player didn't see the security tape and walked off the end of the stage and like broke his arm or something.
That's an issue.
Show over.
Yeah, that's an issue. Good night.
It was great right up until then.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna keep it rolling with Joji. I'm assuming many people know Joji. This new album, Smithereens.
Cool.
He is a comedian, singer, really rapper, former YouTuber is really kind of where he rose to prominence.
Came from, okay.
He's a Japanese artist, and this is one of the most anticipated
Yeah,
albums
I've
of the
heard
year.
some of this.
I mean, oh my gosh, his catalog.
Because I
for
remember
us-
saying Joji, and I was like, what? But I did see some of this on YouTube one night.
Yeah, his last 2 records still sell, every week sell for us. Very, very popular artist, and fans have been waiting for this.
There you
know,
go.
it's kind of a
You guys have it.
R&B, lo-fi, mixing it up, but there's a lot of humor there. The singles, Glimpses of Us, which if you heard it, you go, oh yeah, I've heard that song somewhere. So
There you go.
okay.
Lots of good stuff.
Yeah, so to close out the new stuff, we're going to talk about a couple of releases on the New West label. One being a new artist. This is Emily Nenni, and she actually played the store on Saturday, and we have some autographed copies for people there. This record is totally great. If you like your country music a la 1974
Sold.
with the Waylon Jennings
Sold.
purple MXR flange pedal going.
Nice.
And,
Yeah. I
it
had that,
is-
by the way.
Did you? Yeah, you got to have it. Yeah.
No, the purple was the boss one. With that 4 knobs, it was
Oh,
purple.
yeah.
It was the boss. Yeah, I had one. Yeah,
See, I don't
absolutely.
even know why I mentioned guitar pedals to you. I mean, you're
Well, at least I have something I know about on this damn stream.
so anyway. So it's really got
with
that
the professor.
that
here.
early 70s.
Yeah.
And she's got a terrific voice. Songwriting is cool, and she does. I mean, I'm sure the artist doesn't like it when you pull out the cover.
Yeah.
That's on there because there's a bunch of great originals on there. Does a cover of ABBA's country version of Does Your Mother Know?
Oh,
It's terrific. It's
wow.
really, really great. And you're going to be seeing more from her. She's going to be back through the market. She's going to Australia right now to play down there, and we will have her back at Cactus. So
Let me
people
know.
can meet her. But we have
I'm coming to that one.
autographed copies for sale now. If anybody wants to come out and pick up one. I think this is going to be one of the big records of the year, and I think this is one of the best tribute albums of the year based on the
Toledo.
lineup. Billy Joe Shaver is one of the greatest songwriters to ever come out of the state of Texas. Passed a couple years ago, and this is
Wrote a lot of songs for people you love.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got a couple of albums that are like 5-star, top to bottom, brilliant records.
Sure.
So this is Live Forever, a tribute to Billy Joe Shaver,
Oof.
and just read the lineup on there.
All right, guys. So
crazy.
here we go. Let's let everybody know what's happening here. Willie Nelson and Lucinda Williams, Live Forever. Ryan Bingham and Nikki Lane, Ride Me Down Easy. Rodney Crowell, Old 5 and Dimers Like Me. Miranda Lambert. I'm just an old drunk. I'm just an old chunk of coal. Well, I'm probably drunk too. Edie Brickell. Wow. It couldn't be me without you. Nathaniel Ratliff.
One of my favorite tracks.
I'm not going to read all the songs, but George Strait, Amanda Shire, Steve Earle, Margot Price, Willie Nelson, Allison Russell.
And I'll tell you this: the kooky thing, George Strait is almost never on any tribute.
I don't know him to.
He does not do that. And
Yeah.
and if that gives you some insight into what an important this record is for
yeah,
everybody that
just what it
participated,
means.
it is, and it's great. I listened to it this morning. And if you're looking to discover a bunch of great tunes that you might not be familiar with, the country music fan,
Oh, I
do
love
that.
this. Produced by Charlie Sexton and Freddie Fletcher.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
passion project for those
Yeah,
guys,
man.
for sure.
Wow. I love, I don't know, kind of like this last 20 years of Charlie Sexton's career.
Yeah, man.
It's
He's
like,
shows up and
you know
makes
what I
things
mean?
better.
Yeah, doesn't hurt your Dylan's, side man, just the projects he's been involved with, the revamped here and there, doing some Archangel shows, and
Really,
doing,
his
doing
name-
stuff like this
And his name is a production credit on a record. It's
Yeah.
almost automatic.
It's a
and I
big
will
deal.
listen to that record.
is a big deal,
'cause it
because it
always
could have
sounds
gone
good.
the other way for him as this young phenom teen idol that they were trying to turn him into.
Yeah.
That thing,
Not
that
him.
whole thing could have gone sideways.
Yeah.
So good for him, man.
And next up, our beloved reissue.
This
Part of
is
the
this is
program.
why I come here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this guy. So we all know rappers, hip hop dudes
Mhm.
love to make mixtapes.
Yeah, they do.
So Big Crit's had a bunch of them out there, and they put them on vinyl
You're not-
all at once.
You want
Double
mixtapes?
LPs.
You want mixtapes on vinyl?
You don't want to have to stream them anymore. Well, here they are. And there's also a box set.
Good night, Irene.
I'm curious.
Which
to
has
see how
never
these-
been said when discussing hip hop. Just to be clear.
Really popular artist who continues to sell well for us. And but you know what so many of the artists' more popular tracks or versions of those tracks actually appear in the mixtapes, and then I think fans sometimes are disappointed because they'll buy the CD or the LP and the version that they
They
really
want
like
is not on there.
the record.
Yeah.
So I think that you're seeing a lot of these mixtapes come out as a way to kind of meet the demand there, and also, there's just not enough.
Got a little feature by the honorary mayor of Houston, Bun B, is on here.
Tons of guests.
There's a ton of people
Ton
on
of
here.
guests.
Holy cow.
So Big Crit, come grab it.
Big
There's
Crit,
plenty of
yeah,
it for you.
All right.
All right. Then you may have to reduce the contrast on your view.
Yeah,
your
this is
computer
about
at home
to blow it
because
out.
Never mind the Bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols on neon green vinyl, and this looks cool. Let's just do this right now. This is how you do it at home. That's where your jeans come in.
Sure.
Handy. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Go.
You ready?
Hit it.
You ready?
Oh, that's a different sleeve too, right? That's not the original sleeve, is it?
It's kind of reproduction.
Look
Wow.
at
Does that look as green to you?
that is as green as the jacket.
pretty dang green.
That is back of the jacket.
I think
yeah.
they did this one once before, but it sold out and was wildly popular, so it's back again. So, they say neon. I think it should be snot. It should be gob green.
It's
right?
definitely
Snot
some
green?
kind of phlegm.
Yeah, and
But
This
that's
is-
fantastic. Give this to somebody for Christmas, please. Okay.
and I don't know about you, but I pretty much learned how to play guitar to this record.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Top to bottom,
Yeah.
it's
It's just
still-
fantastic.
yeah.
It's just, and the weird thing is, it leans almost so much to hard rock more than it does punk.
Absolutely.
Steve Jones's guitar is
Yeah.
so much, and Matlock's bass playing is really.
It's very Beatlesque and play.
It's incredible.
He lost the job because he wouldn't hold down the steady beat enough. And for me, like, I heard about punk rock, old punk rock, way before I had even heard it. When I finally heard it, I was like,
Yeah.
that sounded like Chuck Berry.
Yeah. Yes.
So I was all
Yesterday was my listen to classic punk rock. Like I was out, went for a super long walk, and I went Dead Boys. No, I went The Damned, Iggy Pop, Dead Boys, and by the time I got home, I was on Minor Threat.
Sweet. So you pretty much worked chronologically.
Just the whole thing.
through the
Yeah.
whole
I
thing.
just went in order.
You're like,
Yeah.
I've been trapped in Philly for 6 days.
I needed
And some
something to
punk rock.
literally flush my brain.
Woo.
Anyway, let's move.
All right. Hey, band that's been really not enough of their classic albums have been available on vinyl in
Yeah.
the States. So they're trying. Rhino Records trying to fix that right now. 2 classic INXS records, Shabooh Shabah, In the Swing, And this record in particular, I love
It's
this
fantastic.
record.
This is the tour I saw. First time I saw
The
it.
swing, I love that I Send a Message song. I know that's not one of their biggest hits, but I love that too. It's great riff. Original Sin.
Yeah, Johnson's Airplane. It's a great
Yeah.
song. Dancing. I like Dancing on the Jetty. Melting in the Sun. It's all good.
Great record.
Yeah.
Record. And of course, this one is probably this is probably the big breakthrough record with the
for sure.
one thing on it.
So they had two
And Don't
releases.
Change.
They had two releases in Australia right prior to this that I eventually, when I got into band, I found on cassette somewhere.
Yeah.
And this, you can tell they're going to get here.
Yeah.
But it's very different.
Yeah.
Because they're figuring out what they're doing.
Sure.
And they were super young.
And that's an ideal situation for a label, to where a band kind of, develops, and they can, on their own, while people are paying too much attention to them, kind of develop a sound across like 2 or 3 records and then break through.
Exactly.
And they didn't stop breaking through. I mean, tremendous. And this one's on clear vinyl. I don't know what color that was.
Someone wrote this one time, they were reviewing one of the INXS albums. I remember they were writing about the how the band plays together, and they said it was great ensemble guitar playing.
I would agree.
Because at some points in the set, there's 3 guitar players plus a bass player going at the same time.
What was not lost on me is you always had like one guy playing a funky riff, another guy dropping a chord behind
exactly.
it,
That's where
and
everybody
another
had a
guy
part.
playing, and
You
another
just
guy
weren't
playing
like
a counter melody.
Yeah, you
so
just
it was,
weren't. Yeah,
it was very well orchestrated.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and the Ferris brothers, Michael Hutchinson, Gary Pierce.
Great band.
Yeah.
Great band. All right, this was part of October, but we didn't quite get to it, so it's no.
Oh my God, I love this record.
Rockin'
Oh my
November.
God.
I know that you do. That's why
You need to have this record.
This is the second album from Kyuss, and this is Blues for the Red Sun. This was a
monster.
and it was not a
Game
huge
changer.
record upon release, but this is an album that every musician that
Goes
I
back
know
to
that was
now.
into heavy rock was into this record.
Yeah.
They're very, very influential record. They were playing clubs at this time or whatever, but this is
Yeah.
one of those records that spawned a gazillion bands.
Sure, and I mean, if we did end up with like Stoner and Sludge without these guys, it would sound very different.
Yeah, no doubt. That's, one of the touchstones for that whole sound.
Green Machine.
Green Machine. Now for something very different.
Yes.
This is part of the RSD Essential series.
Not Stoner or Sludge.
This is Chris Isaak's 4th album, San Francisco Days. Probably noteworthy because it's not, the previous record was the breakthrough record, Heart-Shaped World, which had Wicked Game, which was a very somber, downbeat affair. This is kind of an upbeat record for him. His guitar player is great, that James Calvin Wilson guy, unfortunately no longer with us, but great record. And this record was only ever available in Europe on vinyl. Never had, this is the first US issue of this.
Really?
It's
Okay,
kind of
that's
amazing
cool.
for a multi-platinum record. And I got to tell you,
Record Store Day Essential.
He's playing on December 18th at the House of Blues. He does his Christmas show. If you've never seen that Christmas show and you like Chris Isaak at all, go. It's like, not only is the music great, but you're gonna laugh as much as, it's like high comedy workshop.
I love it.
on there. Always great to see him.
It's a good
Terrific
tip. Good
show.
live tip, people.
Okay, so
Tell me.
I always pick a record that's like, people need to know about this, and I'm going to champion it.
I need
And
to
this
know about
is-
it.
This is the Liminanes, and they are a French duo. This is a collection. This 2 LPs, 23 songs. This really is like their best stuff. You may have heard their music licensed for film and TV, but it is they started as kind of a French pop band, and then slowly integrated like garagey, fuzzier stuff. So if you moody soundtrack music, some country blues, they're one of the coolest bands in the world.
So
And it was started as a duo, ended up now there's 4 people in the
this
band.
what? So okay.
So this is Electified, the best of Liminanes. I'm probably not saying that very well, but listen to this right now. This band is fantastic, and you probably never heard of them. And
I've never heard of them.
kind of all over the place, but man, it is cool. And I will tell you, if you were ever a fan of, there's some, I guarantee you Jack White heard these records,
Yeah.
and certainly like the Ravenettes,
Right.
that kind of fuzzed out 60s pop.
Fuzzed out, reverb soaked.
Yeah, that's them, but they do a lot more than that.
Yeah.
And that is a great collection. urge you
I'm glad you
to
said
pick that up.
Ravenettes. I got to dig out my Ravenettes CDs.
Okay, last up, our last reissue of the day.
Hit me.
This is the
Oh,
Kendrick
yeah.
Lamar Good Kid 10th anniversary, and this is such a huge record. It's reissued on colored vinyl. Boy, of course it doesn't say which one. I think this is got this is an alternate cover as well. But little tidbit for you. Sometimes, as it's been hard with manufacturing issues to get stuff repressed, you go to the head of the line if you do a new pressing, like a reissue. So I think sometimes that's how you see reissues, because this was not that easy to get a hold of over the last few years. So now you can get it. It's got the swimming pool drank extended version on it.
Come down to Cactus and get it.
Yeah,
Dude, that's
really one of the most influential hip hop artists of our time, and that's the big record.
that's a big box of new music.
Oh, yeah.
So what's coming up as we approach the holiday? What are we waiting for? What's anticipated?
There's a lot of big. There's a lot of big. There's a lot of stuff coming out. Some of the bigger records that are going to be on Christmas lists are already out, but you have, as far as reissues, you have the Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. There's a monster package of that. They did the Coca-Cola model of that. You can buy the 6.5 ounce bottle all the way up to a keg of syrup and make all you want. And then I don't know. Yeah, I know you're a fan of this band, but I don't know what your thoughts are on this record. But Kiss's Creatures of the Night, regarded by many as like their last great album.
Sure.
That's getting anniversary reissue. That is next week. We'll talk about that, and whole host of other stuff.
Pulling out the phone. It's because I came across this randomly, and I've been listening to this a lot, and I don't think we've talked about it on. We talked about this.
No.
I guess it's Bosley, and the song's called "Just Like You." Like, I've turned like 3 or 4 people onto it, and they're like, I can't stop playing that song.
Oh man, like so, Bosley, like Charlie's Angels Bosley.
I think it's either Bosley or Bosley. Right? It's Bosley, because if
it's got to be Bosley,
because it was 2 S, it'd be Bosley.
Bosley. Yeah.
So check it out. It's loungy, groovy, trippy,
all right,
soul-ish. So that's a little thing there. Let's see. Do we have anything to report from the? I haven't seen any live shows. I haven't done anything.
It's been all baseball.
It's been an all baseball too. That's how October.
I was telling friends, like, man, I can see movies again and listen to more music and do stuff
because we're baseball nuts.
Yeah,
and that's what happens. All right, man. So we're gonna jump off. That is the drop,
and we've left you with a bunch of great ideas for stuff to listen to.
Stuff to listen to and stuff to give as gifts as we get closer to the holidays. More good stuff coming. I'm Ruben Dominguez. That's Quinn Bishop. We'll see you. Peace.
Best show yet.
I cannot argue with that. Cannot argue with that.
Bosley.
That was gold.